The end. So we first of all just wanted to thank WabTech for letting us be a part of this evening and just for giving us a few minutes just tonight just to talk about our dad a little bit. So when we were first thinking about what we wanted to do for our dad that would be special, we thought maybe a gift. And so we're getting on Google and we're trying to find a retirement gift that would be sufficient for our dad, that would be meaningful to him. And the things that were popping up were these little putt games that you could play while sitting on the toilet. And we're like, okay, that's not really what we're going for.
What's wrong with that?
We're really hoping our dad has a better retirement career than that, but maybe not. We don't know. So, but anyway, tonight we just wanted to share a little bit about our dad. Most of you know him as a colleague, a friend, but you don't see the other roles that he has, and so we kind of wanted to just paint a picture of our dad for you guys and just honor not only his career, his impressive 38-year career, but also just who he is as a person. He is a faithful husband and just a phenomenal dad, and I think his favorite role right now is being papa to 4, almost 5 grandkids. So growing up, we used to just look forward to our dad coming home from work, and it wasn't necessarily because we wanted to tell him about our day or share a meal with him. He was just a world-class tickle monster, and we used to brag to our friends that our dad was just the best tickler ever, and even to the point where we would call him while he was at work and ask him to come home midday to tickle us, to show our friends that we were, that he really was. And so he was also just a phenomenal storyteller. And for some reason, we were just fascinated by stories of when he got hurt or in trouble. And so he would tuck us in and we would say, "Dad, tell us a story when you got hurt or in trouble." And he would. And surprisingly, or maybe not so surprisingly, he has yet to run out of content for stories like that.
So our dad also held us to a very high standard and expected a lot of us. And so growing up, it was kind of like our family code of ethics that we would always repeat after him whenever we were leaving for school or sports, that remember, you are a Kovac. And as we kind of grew up, we learned that along with this, we as Kovacs weren't allowed to quit. And this wasn't just a standard that he held ourselves to, but he also held himself to that standard as well. And we got to witness that, throughout his career as he faced undesirable situations and stuff. He always handled them with grace and integrity, and expected us to work hard throughout school and sports. And so if ever we were slipping in our grades, or if we were struggling to master a concept, we always had the sheer privilege of being tutored in our dad's office. And so as most of you know, his background is in mechanical engineering, so if we had an English or a grammar question, we'd always go to our mom. If it was math or science, it was always dad. And so if there was 5 different ways to come up with an answer to a question, he would make sure that we were proficient in all 5 ways. So, we would always debate back and forth, should we ask him this question? Do we have 2 hours to spend learning exactly how to find the answer, or should we just risk getting it wrong or asking someone tomorrow at school? But regardless, it always meant undivided attention with Dad, and that was always special. And aside from the high expectations he held of us, he was always the first one to celebrate us, regardless of how big or small the accomplishment was. Growing up, it was sports or good grades in school or accolades from a teacher, but it's continued throughout our lives, and he always is the first one to celebrate our victories and work or anniversaries or birthdays or whatever. So if you don't get anything else out from this speech, it's the fact that our dad loves to celebrate, and we as Kovacs love to celebrate, and that's something that's going to pass down through our kids and our family's legacy.
Growing up, I don't know that we ever truly understood the demands of your job and your career until we grew up ourselves, moved out of the house, and started our own careers, and realized what energy it took to come home, provide for your family, but then come home and tickle us and tutor us, and even spend hours in the basement with Grant playing football. We're lucky if we can keep the kids alive and our husbands fed and the house is somewhat clean. So it just took a lot for what you did. We also we put a lot of emphasis on family dinners. It was always extremely important for us, and even with all four of us being athletes in various sports at any given time, we always made sure that we came back to the table and we kind of developed memories together, and we'd spend hours at the table, usually telling stories about our days or getting advice about our latest issues. Most of the time it was just making fun of each other, if we're being completely honest. Really? You're not part of our family, that's very crucial. So, but it became some of our favorite times, and we developed a lot of fond memories, and we grew closer as a family, just having that time together. We truly came to cherish that. But honestly, we wouldn't be doing our dad any justice tonight if we didn't talk about how well he has loved and pursued and cherished our mom. He's an incredible dad, and he was and is an incredible dad, and so, but he spent so much focus on our mom as well and provided an amazing example for us. He spent time helping with us, shuttling us to and from different practices and school and things like that, helping around the house. He was extremely handy, washing and waxing our mom's car, but always making sure that they had time together as well. He always made sure that their marriage came before all of us, which is surprising. It's pretty amazing, but they always came first, and they always made sure that whenever he came home, he always had a loving word and a kiss and a hug for our mom and back rub, usually. And but they always had date nights as well. We grew up remembering them having date nights, and maybe it was to survive having 3 teenage girls at the time, I don't know. But you provide an incredible example for us in our marriages today as well, because of your loyalty and commitment to our family.
So our dad is a natural born leader, and I think that's easy to see from a career perspective, but you may not know the amount of people that he's mentored, both occupationally and spiritually. He's helped hundreds of people with their resumes and get ready for interviews, including all of us up here and even some of our bosses. He's on more boards than we can keep count, and he's led missions trips to Nicaragua and Honduras, all while leading our family. We also know that all this wouldn't be possible without your faith in Jesus Christ. 2 weeks ago, you sent me this text, which said, I gotta get through this. Good morning, G. Just woke up and doing my devotion, which I got caught up after getting behind 13 days due to Tahoe. I pray for you daily, for contentment, for stamina, and for a wife.
Still praying for that.
I love you so much. It's texts like these that we've all received over the years, and we can regularly expect from our dad, but never take for granted. And it's also through texts like these that we can see a small glimpse of the faith that you possess. And through your faith, you've led our family for years, and you've mastered your craft, and you've done that with integrity. And we want to thank you for the greatest gift of all, and that's the opportunity to know Jesus Christ as our personal Savior. And Dad, as your only son, I'm so proud to carry on the Kovac name, and I can only hope that I can leave the same legacy that you had thus far. So with that, let's grab a glass. Let's toast not only to a great career, but our dad's integrity, being family-oriented, and overall success. We're so proud of you, Dad, and we love you so much.
Cheers.